Hey everyone, welcome back to another college football video. It is time for my week 4 picks and score predictions. Overall, for this weekend, a couple of really intriguing games on deck. Before I do that though, I'm gonna go over week 3, quick recap. Went 7-2 in the games I picked on the screen that you see. These are the games that were in the video last week. Had two of them get wrong completely, basically. Texas State over Arizona State and Florida State over Memphis. Of course, Florida State. I'm done with Florida State. They're trash. They need to just have a complete overhaul. There's rumors going around too, certain things about DJ and then something else. Texas State, I think, lost that game on purpose against Arizona State. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. My surefire picks are now 0-2. Go figure. Thanks, Washington State. Washington. I don't know how they stopped scoring so much. They were on pace to score a lot. Don't know, man. Gotta get the surefire picks on track here for this week. I think I got a good one though. We'll see. But overall, I am 15-3 in the last 2 weeks overall with the games I've been picking. So please subscribe, please like, share the video, do what you gotta do. Hate to ask that every week, but gotta get the subscriber count up. I have bigger plans in store right now going on. I can't explain much right now, so I'm just trying to for one, build my social media side of things up. Let's get into the games. I don't have a whole lot of time, but we have number 22 Nebraska, number 24 Illinois, ranked matchup, first ranked matchup in Lincoln in I think a decade, I believe. So this is a special one, and Nebraska's 400th consecutive home sellout. The crowd will be rocking on a Friday night. That's tomorrow night. Both defenses, I think, should be represented well. Illinois so far this year has been impressive on the defensive side. Key for Illinois is to run the ball. Nebraska's run defense is a little suspect. Dylan Raiola has been electric this year. They had a slight letdown. They were kind of on autopilot last week against Northern Illinois. The Lions, Nebraska 7.5. There is a very low chance for some showers. There's a system that's kind of rolling into the plains this weekend. Should hopefully give us rain because we've been so dry here in Indiana lately. But neither here nor there. I like Nebraska to win, but I'm not really sure if they cover that 7.5. That's a little steep, personally. I think Illinois will cover. I think trends do lean towards Illinois covering here. From what I've heard, sharp money is on Illinois, so that is something to keep an eye on. Lots of defense, but I think Raiola, being the better quarterback than Luke Altmaier, I trust Nebraska's offense a little more, but it would not completely shock me if Illinois pulled off the outright upset. Next up, we have a rivalry entitled the Textile Bowl because both schools in general, something along the lines of textiles. Look it up. It's very interesting, actually, with Clemson. Number 21 Clemson and NC State. Clemson's favored a whopping near 3 touchdowns, and that makes sense given how bad NC State's been this season. Another game where they struggled a lot, especially against a team like Louisiana Tech, man. This Wolfpack team overall, offensively, they've struggled, but defensively, they've been arguably worse in some cases. Clemson just came off a shellacking of App State. It's interesting when you look at Clemson's defensive stats, they are like bottom 40 in I think the run against the run and pass and stuff like that. But the thing is, I think their defensive stats are skewed just because of that Georgia game. Now, I will say App State had 150 rushing yards on Clemson, which is a fair amount of rushing yards, but that wasn't from one person. That was just the overall team rushing stats. But Kate Klubnik, trying to get this offense still rolling a little bit. Clemson, man, he went off against App State. NC State's quarterback issue with Grayson McCall continues. I think Jordan Waters, he's going to have a big game here if they want to have a chance in this one. But I don't trust NC State, man. I think this Clemson defense is going to crank up a little bit. And remember, they were holding Georgia down for a while in that game, too, in week 1. But NC State's a bunch of... They're a joke, and it sucks to see that. But this is also a revenge spot from last year. NC State pulled off an upset last year against Clemson. I think the opposite's going to happen. I think Clemson wins, and this is a long-time rivalry. Clemson has dominated the series. Next up, we have an intriguing matchup here. This is one that is something's fishy about it. It could be fishy, not sure. Number 18 Michigan, number 11 USC. What's interesting about these two in their history is 8 of the 10 matchups they have been in the Rose Bowl because usually the best Big Ten team in general and the best Pac-12 team, the representatives of those conferences will be in the Rose Bowl usually. That was the contractual obligation. I think obviously now with the playoff, that's not going to be the same anymore, but that's how it was beforehand. USC's favored 5.5 on the road. Man, I don't know if I can lay 5.5 with USC, man. I think we need to remember, and I understand Michigan's offense has been complete trash. Where's Donovan Edwards? What's going on with the run game? The offensive line hasn't been the same. Michigan's secondary has been very suspect. Alex Orji will start for Michigan. I think Orji can make some things happen. Why is your name Alex Orji, dude? I can't say his name without almost laughing. I seriously can't do it. I mean, gosh, man, why? What's with these people's names these days, man? Come on. I know it's spelled O-R-J-I, but do I care? No, I don't. Anyway, the point is, Michigan's offense has been a very big struggle. USC, though, man, on the road, do we trust this team? They beat a very fraudulent LSU team. LSU sucks, in my opinion. I don't think they're that good. USC's defense was more of a bend but don't break defense in that game. They shut down Utah State. I don't know, man. I'm leaning USC to win, but I don't think they cover. I don't know. I can see Michigan pulling off the upset. Miller, Moss and company, that offense, they're gonna have to, get. I don't know, man. This could be a trap for USC. That 5.5, man. They were favored 6.5. The line's coming down. Over under 46.5. Gonna be a warm matchup. But that's a close one, man. Some people are really honing in on USC, and I don't like that very much either. Number 19, Louisville versus Georgia Tech. That's the next matchup we will talk about here. A hot game coming up, 91 for the kickoff temperature. I got some even hotter games coming up on this slate because, good Lord, it's ridiculous looking, honestly, with that. But Louisville favor 10. They have the fourth best total offense in the country. This team is slinging the rock at a high level. They're running the ball well, too. But they haven't played anybody yet. They haven't played anybody good yet. This will be their first real test of the season. Georgia Tech's a solid team. I don't think they're a top 25 team, but I think they're a top 40, top 50 maybe, possibly, for sure. I mean, Haynes Keene has played quite a bit better. He's limiting the turnovers. That Georgia Tech defense is subpar, though. I don't really care for the defense too much. I mean, they got some guys who can kind of get aggressive, and stuff. I mean, we saw that against Florida State. Florida State sucks, and Georgia Tech got upset against Syracuse, which I called out right, by the way. This Louisville defense, last year Louisville's defense was pretty damn good at times. Will it show here? I don't know, man. I mean, Georgia Tech played them tough last year. Only the fourth ever meeting coming up between these two. I think with an improved Georgia Tech offense, I think they can give Louisville's defense some issues. We'll go around 38-28. The score is a rough one, man, because some things can go differently. I can see a scenario easily where Louisville wins by 10+, but I can also see a scenario where Georgia Tech tries to scare Louisville. Is it possible Louisville loses? I don't think it's likely, but I wouldn't rule it out. Anything could happen in college football. Look what happened with Northern Illinois against Notre Dame, but should be plenty of offense. Over-under is 57.5. We might be talking over in this one. I don't know. I think the defenses aren't going to matter as much in this one. We'll see. This game, man, don't get me started with this game, folks. We got Auburn versus Arkansas. Auburn is favored 3, and Auburn's just, what do you even say about this team? I think their defense is worse than last year, personally. Their defense last year at times shined, kind of slowing things down a bit. This year, I don't know about that, man. The stats are not showing it, really. Although I think at home, Auburn is, it's usually at home they're solid, but Arkansas, man, they're an interesting team, too. We got two interesting teams here. It's like Auburn's got Hank Brown at quarterback because Peyton Thorne was complete ass against Cal, and they lost that game outright. Arkansas with Taylon Green and company. Taylon Green has been playing well. Arkansas blew the game against Oak State. What's interesting, though, is Arkansas has been shutting the run down. They have, which I think is very interesting. So, well, how's Auburn going to get around that, Well, how will they utilize Jarquez Hunter, Will they kind of get him going in the backfield more of the passing route and stuff like that as well? But overall, this is I don't want to say they're completely even on paper, but they are not too far off from each other. Both pass defenses are horrible. I think home field advantage matters. I like Auburn. I almost made this my surefire pick of the week, but then this Auburn line, all these lines are like at 3, 2.5, 3. I don't like them very much, honestly, and those lines tend to be tedious. Auburn blew out Arkansas last year. I think Arkansas is going to remember that. Play close. Auburn wins. I don't see a scenario where where either team blows the other out. I don't know if they're capable of even doing that. Arkansas really struggled against UAB's pass last week. They only won by 10. Actually, they were down after the first quarter. So Auburn, it's hard to trust a redshirt freshman, Hank Brown, but I think being at home helps him a little bit. He has some confidence. Just lean on Keandre Lambert-Smith a little bit, but also one of their other receivers who are hurt, he'll be key. If he can play, that'll be key as well. He's a freshman. Moving on, we have a very intriguing matchup here. This could be a shootout. This looks like a shootout in the making. Texas Tech and Arizona State, kind of like a wild, wild west battle of offense. We have a Texas Tech line of 3. Come on, man. I'm not laying points with Texas Tech. Are you serious right now? You really think... I mean, does it look like I smoke to you or something? First off, I run and I don't smoke, so there's that. Second off, 3 points? Texas Tech, 3 points? Gosh, I thought this line would be like Texas Tech -1 or -2. That would be a lot more comforting. But Arizona State, man, they're playing pretty good. Their defense is... their defense came up... pardon me. Their defense came up clutch against Texas State. But I'm not the biggest fan of this Arizona State defense, but I think Texas Tech's defense is arguably worse. Baron Morton in this Texas Tech offense is absolutely ridiculous, but they have the 11th worst defense in college football. Key stat, though, too, that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Arizona State, as an underdog in the last 10 games, are 6-3-1 against the spread. Keeping that in mind, Texas Tech laying points, forget about it. I have a high-scoring game. I'd say my surefire pick of the week is Texas Tech winning outright. So you're probably better off taking Texas Tech on the money line, for instance, if you're going to bet this game. I feel confident in that suggestion. I think it's time to back off Arizona State. They're due to lose, in my opinion. Another road environment in Texas. This crowd could be even more raucous. Texas Tech has that electric offense. Arizona State, though, man, with Cam Scatterbo and Sam Levitt, man, they are a very good duo. I would be careful with that one, but Texas Tech, I feel confident in winning. I think it's time to get away from Arizona State. I think Texas Tech wins this game. Texas Tech does not want to go 2-2 because even with that horrific defense, Texas offense can give them some hope in some of these Big 12 games. Next up, and holy crap, I forgot to... You already saw the score. This is the second week in a row I pulled this stunt off. But don't go away. Don't skip forward. This was a tough one. This was the toughest game to pick for me, actually. 14 Oklahoma State and 12 Utah. Oklahoma State was originally favored like 2.5. Line went to 2. Back to 2.5 for Oak State. Analytics like Oklahoma State. I am not entirely sure what ESPN Analytics is drinking. What are they drinking? What is the system doing? What are they ingesting over there? Cam Rising, I think, is very likely to play. He did hurt his finger, his hand. They were talking about his hand. I think it was like lacerated finger against Baylor when he ran into the water cooler. Ouch. Oklahoma State, man, their defense is complete garbage. I don't care if they shut down Tulsa. I really don't. I still don't buy this Oklahoma State defense. They have a weak defense. Their offensive line's kind of questionable. I mean, Arkansas, man, was getting after them in that game. I think Arkansas kind of really opened the gate on some crucial film study against Oklahoma State because Utah, man, I do not like betting against Utah in general because this team, especially in the last couple of years in the regular season, this has been a team that's been fairly damn impressive. And I like their defense. Although I will say their secondary, a little suspect. Kenan Johnson, who was out. That might be, and then another guy who's going to probably be out. That could hurt them. That could hurt them significantly because Alan Bowman, we know he can sling it pretty well. Ollie Gordon, will he go off in this game? I don't know, man. This Utah defensive line is pretty good. Very, very good. They could shut down anything, and they've been generating a couple sacks per game. I like Utah to win. It's going to be extremely hot. I didn't even realize it's supposed to be like 99 degrees in Stillwater on Saturday until I just looked it up. Yeah, so I have a slight lean towards the under in this game because I think we're going to see a bit more of running the ball. Utah will run the ball more. I think they need to. I think what they need to do is Micah Bernard needs to just kill clock. Utah needs to get the game in their possession, more time in possession. I think if they do that, I think they can win the game. I think that's the better way to beat Oak State, but also to obviously score on this team. But trying to limit the amount of times Ollie Gordon has or chances he has to go off. So very interesting, fun one. Don't miss it. Next up, folks, we have another rivalry on deck. Battle for the Iron Skillet. Very interesting. Let's head to Dallas. These schools are only about 40 miles apart from each other. Fun fact, in case you didn't know. SMU, which is in Dallas, and TCU. TCU, another 3-point line. What is going on, dude? Like, all these 3-point lines are really, really... Yeah, I don't know, man. I have a feeling that some people are going to get really, really upset, honestly, this weekend with their bets. I don't know. This feels like a week where I could see a lot of people getting ripped off, honestly. Screwed. We'll see. I don't know. Not entirely sure, but another hot game here. 97 degrees. How in the world do you play in this heat, man? I mean, like, the highest temperature I've ran in, for instance, is 88, but highest heat index was 99 for me, but that is just brutal. I mean, it's ridiculous, but either way, that's neither here nor there. This will be probably a mid to high scoring game, I think. TCU quarterback Josh Hoover already over 1,000 passing yards. TCU, 5th best in the country at passing, but they don't run the ball, so this could hurt them. Because of SMU's been real shaky, man. They lost to BYU. Both teams are coming off a loss. That's why this game was one of the harder ones to pick. TCU had the heartbreaker, though, against UCF. They were up like 15 points and blew it. SMU was in a defensive drag of a fight against BYU 2 weeks ago. Does SMU's defense step up in a way? I don't know, man. I'm not sure about that. Analytics kind of like SMU, but I actually like TCU to win. I don't know if I'd lay the points at TCU. This might be a game I'd stay away from. I don't know. It's like with Texas Tech. Or like with this one, who do you like on the money line if it's not too pricey, or getting a little too high? We'll see. Should be a fairly interesting game, though. I don't know. SMU's offense is also kind of suspect, but we'll see. We'll see. Final game. Huge game here. I think this is College Game Day. Not entirely sure. I meant to look up what College Game Day was in general, but here we go. Number 15, Oklahoma, hosting number 6, Tennessee. The first SEC matchup for either team this season. Tennessee's favored 7 points. Only the 5th time they have met in general. Last time they met, 2015, Oklahoma escaped with a 7-point victory. Yeah, man. This matchup will answer some questions. Is Oklahoma going to figure out their offense altogether? Because last week they did score 34, but it took them a while to get there. They were in a fight with Tulane for a bit, then they pulled away. Their defense has been better than their offense in general, I would say. Tennessee has not faced a really good team yet. NC State, they blew them out. That was no surprise. I wasn't too surprised, although I had a closer game than that. I mean, just with NC State's struggles, yeah, that's what's going to probably happen more times than not. Tennessee's offense is just electric. I mean, Tennessee's offense is crazy. I just don't know how to explain it. They can not only throw the ball, but Dylan Sampson's running crazy in every game. Oklahoma at home, this is going to be a tough environment because Nico's first true road test. And remember, he's still young. I think Nico struggles a little bit in this game, but Tennessee 7, I don't know, man. I would not lay 7 with Tennessee. I think Oklahoma will come to play. Competition really heating up. Oklahoma knows they got to fix some of their offensive woes a little bit. So I think Oklahoma fights in this one a bit more. Tennessee's defense, this is their biggest test yet. And that Tennessee defense is something we're going to have to keep an eye on because I don't know if it's 100% legit. I'm leaning towards no, but I don't know. This is a good one. Do not miss this game. This will be a fun one to watch. We're going to have a brawl here in Norman. That crowd's going to be on fire. Crowd will help a lot, you know, diehard OU fans. I mean, you're talking a program with a lot of history and prestige, too. So, top 15 battle, Oklahoma's entry the SEC. Will they get the job done? I think they fall just short. They got a brutal schedule in the SEC. They got to play Alabama. They got to play Ole Miss. They got to play Auburn. It's ridiculous. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Week 5 of college football next week. And I will see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. And I will see you guys next week. And also, too, by the way, stay tuned for my next episode of the Storm Front. It'll be coming out within a week. I will be talking about my next race coming up. I do race in 1 week, so keep an eye out for that. I'll see you guys then. Peace. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.